Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel, Just Immigration News. We hope you're doing great. In this video, we're going to talk about keeping American families together, parole in place for undocumented spouses of U.S. citizens. Parole in place offers crucial relief for undocumented spouses of U.S. citizens, allowing them to stay in the U.S. while resolving their immigration status. This program helps keep families together by providing temporary protection from deportation and a potential path to legal residency. If you are interested in this, so to get all the information, pay attention and watch the video through to the end, please hit like and subscribe and don't forget to push the notification bell for an upcoming video. So, without any further delay, let's jump into the video. The Biden administration recently announced new actions to expand access to parole in place for as many as 500,000 long-term undocumented immigrants who are married to U.S. citizens. Recipients of parole in place will be protected temporarily from deportation, be able to apply for legal work authorization, and could potentially complete their application process for lawful permanent residency. These smart and important steps will help keep 2 million American family members together, including up to 50,000 undocumented children and young adults in these families. This long-standing legal authority will provide relief, support, and opportunity for hundreds of thousands of mixed-status American families across the United States. Keeping American families together. On June 18, 2024, President Biden announced that certain undocumented immigrants who are married to U.S. citizens will be eligible to apply for parole in place. The use of this long-standing legal authority will provide relief, support, and opportunity for hundreds of thousands of mixed-status American families across the United States. To qualify for relief, individuals must be married to a U.S. citizen, have lived in the U.S. for at least 10 years, have originally entered the U.S. without admission or parole, be able to satisfy any other legal requirements. Eligible individuals will also be able to apply for protection for their children. Applicants will be required to submit supporting evidence to demonstrate they meet these criteria, and to pay a fee. As with all parole requests, applications will be considered case by case. Recipients will be protected from deportation and can apply for work authorization, similar to successful programs like military parole places or DACA protections, and work permits will generally last for up to 3 years, unless renewals are authorized in the future. The Department of Homeland Security is expected to publish a notice in the Federal Register later this summer with details about the application process and will reject any filings submitted before the application period is officially opened. The 500,000 undocumented spouses who qualify for the administration's new parole in place process have lived in the U.S. for 23 years on average. Hundreds of thousands of American families across the country could benefit. Approximately 500,000 undocumented spouses of U.S. citizens who will meet the basic eligibility requirements for parole in place. These individuals are a subset of some 1.1 million undocumented people in the U.S. who are married to a U.S. citizen. On average, the 500,000 undocumented spouses who qualify for the administration's new parole in place process have lived in the U.S. for 23 years, are 40 years old, and have been married to their U.S. citizen spouses for many years. Nearly 1.4 million U.S. citizens live in this type of mixed-status families that qualify for this relief, including more than 600,000 children in all. When including those eligible for parole, 2 million U.S. residents will be directly impacted. Some 90,000 of these undocumented spouses are DACA recipients, and about 245,000 are dreamers, immigrants who arrived in the U.S. before they were 18. Thousands of undocumented spouses across the U.S. could benefit from parole in place. Protections through parole in place could shield hundreds of thousands of mixed-status families from family separation. People living in the U.S. without documentation are always at risk of deportation, even if they are married to a U.S. citizen or have U.S. citizen children and have lived in the U.S. for a long time. That risk is significantly increased for immigrants living in states that have implemented aggressive anti-immigrant policies, like SB 4 in Texas, which purposefully targets undocumented residents. Their removal and separation from their families would cause devastating harm to them, their spouses and children, their communities, and the United States as a whole, with virtually no opportunities for reprieve. Because of these actions, hundreds of thousands of U.S. citizens will have some assurance, even if only temporarily, that their spouses and children will be able to remain with them in the country they call home. Individuals who are likely eligible for parole already contribute an estimated $13.5 billion annually to the economy in spending power. Work authorizations will boost economic contributions. The majority 81% of individuals likely eligible for parole in place are already in the labor force, with about two-thirds 67% working in industries with current labor shortages such as construction, professional and business services, and food and accommodation services. More than 325,000 undocumented spouses of U.S. citizens already work in labor-short industries, but undocumented workers in these and other industries often face barriers to being employed in positions they would be capable of filling if they had a work permit. With work authorizations, they will have greater flexibility to work in positions in industries with greater needs, which would expand their productivity, allow new individuals to enter the labor force, and ease inflationary pressures for everyone in the U.S. Individuals who are likely eligible for relief through parole in place already contribute an estimated $13.5 billion annually to the U.S. economy in spending power after securing permanent legal status. Many could pursue citizenship, which would empower them to contribute even more. Analysis shows that potentially eligible individuals would contribute an additional $6.6 billion annually in spending power to the U.S. economy if they secured citizenship. These potentially eligible individuals are already taxpayers each year. They pay more than $3.6 billion in federal and payroll taxes and $1.7 billion in state and local taxes once they are U.S. citizens. They would be on track to pay an additional $2.6 billion in combined taxes each year. Being granted parole can resolve some individuals' IWI issues, making them eligible to adjust their status in the U.S. and complete their existing pathway to legal status through their U.S. citizen spouse. Parole in place could unlock a path to legal status. In some cases, parole in place could also unlock a pathway to permanent status by providing relief from immigration bars, if not for the harsh bars that exist. Undocumented individuals who are married to citizens would have access to one of the most direct pathways to securing permanent status. Their spouses can sponsor them, and there is no annual numerical limit on the number of green cards available for this group. Individuals who were not formally admitted or paroled into the called entering without inspection are generally not eligible to adjust their status here and instead must depart and re-enter lawfully. However, leaving the U.S. can trigger immigration bars that prevent them from returning for many years. The re-entry bars can be so extreme, some are permanent, that many families choose not to even pursue this legal option. Some immediate relatives of U.S. citizens can apply for a provisional unlawful presence waiver, which grants relief from certain bars before they leave the U.S. to complete the process. However, the application process is heavily backlogged, with more than 130,000 applications pending, even with waivers. Individuals are often denied re-entry on other grounds, leaving families separated for many years. Being granted parole can resolve some individuals' IWI issues, making them eligible to adjust their status in the U.S. and complete their existing pathway to legal status through their U.S. citizen spouse. They would no longer need re-entry waivers, which would reduce backlogs and ease the burden of work on USCIS and the State Department, saving taxpayer money and helping to streamline a system that has been persistently overburdened for decades. It's important to note that parole would only make them eligible to complete this process in the U.S. It would not resolve other inadmissibility issues. Parole is a long-standing authority that helps keep families together and strengthens the economy. Parole in place is an existing legal authorities. Parole in place allows undocumented individuals who are already in the United States to receive immigration parole, which protects them from deportation for a limited time and offers the opportunity to apply for work authorization. Parole is a long-standing legal authority that helps keep families together and strengthens the economy. Section 212d5a of the Immigration and Nationality Act authorizes the Secretary of Homeland Security to, in his discretion, parole into the United States temporarily under such conditions as he may prescribe, only on a case-by-case basis for urgent humanitarian reasons or significant public benefit, any alien applying for admission to the United States. Because individuals who are in the U.S. without having been formally admitted are considered applicants for admission under the INA, they are eligible for parole. Someone who has been formally admitted, including if they had overstayed their visa, would not be eligible. The first dedicated parole-in-place program was a military parole-in-place process that is still used today due to its success. In November 2013, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services issued a policy memorandum asserting that granting parole to undocumented children, parents and spouses of active duty or retired service members would generally be an appropriate exercise of discretion, and that an individual's direct relationship to a service member weighs heavily in favor of parole in place. More work to do, but a historic and impactful step forward. This announcement marks a historic milestone in improving the lives of hundreds of thousands of dreamers and American families with undocumented members. They are a tremendous step forward and a much-needed fulfillment of President Biden's Day One promise to protect undocumented immigrants and their American families. At the same time, these measures are not a complete solution to provide a real pathway to permanent status and citizenship, and they do not relieve Congress of its responsibility to pass meaningful bipartisan legislation to strengthen and modernize our immigration system. Parole plays a vital role in maintaining family unity for undocumented spouses by offering temporary protection and a pathway to legal status. It helps families stay together and secure their future in the U.S. That is all for today in this video. What are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the entire video. Hopefully the information is useful to you. See you later in the next video. Till then, take care.
Hello everyone, welcome back to channel Just Immigration News. We hope you're doing great. In this video, we're going to talk about keeping American families together, parole in place for undocumented spouses of US citizens. The Biden administration has recently expanded access to parole in place program for undocumented spouses of US citizens, potentially benefiting up to 500,000 individuals. This move aims to temporarily shield these immigrants from deportation, grant them work authorization, and open a path to permanent residency. The new policy announced on June 18 is a crucial step in supporting mixed-status families, which include approximately 2 million American family members, including 50,000 children and young adults. To qualify, individuals must be married to a US citizen, have resided in the US for at least a decade, and have entered the country without formal admission or parole. They must also meet other legal criteria. The video will allow eligible individuals to apply for protection for their children, and applications will be processed case by case. Recipients of PIP will be protected from deportation and can work legally for up to 3 years with possible renewals. The new policy affects about 1.1 million undocumented immigrants married to US citizens, of whom 500,000 are expected to meet the criteria. On average, these individuals have lived in the US for 23 years and are integral to various labor markets. They contribute approximately $13.5 billion annually to the economy and pay significant taxes. Work permits under PIP could enhance their economic contributions, helping to address labor shortages and alleviate inflationary pressures. PIP also has the potential to unlock pathways to permanent status by mitigating immigration bars that complicate legal adjustment. The program builds on existing legal authorities and mirrors successful initiatives like military parole in place and DACA. While it represents a significant advancement in supporting undocumented spouses and their families, it is not a comprehensive solution. Congress must still address broader immigration reform to ensure long-term stability and citizenship pathways. Overall, the expanded parole in place program underscores the administration's commitment to family unity and economic integration, offering temporary relief and potential pathway to permanent status for many undocumented immigrants.